guys, next story up. So, well, let me tell you something. When y'all say y'all gonna cancel somebody, usually I just be like, oh, y'all full of shit. You know, people will say they're gonna cancel somebody, and then they might cancel them for a little while, but then, you know, eventually they welcome them back into the fold. But let me tell you, there's been a few people that y'all have canceled, and the shit is stuck, okay? One has been R. Kelly. I don't even have to explain the reasons why that one stuck, okay? R. Kelly has been canceled for sure, okay? Second person that comes to mind is Chrisette Michele. Now, when we finally started to realize Chrisette Michele's personality, when she was on R&B Divas, some of us weren't sure how we felt about Chrisette Michele, okay? That's the one thing about reality TV and social media and just having access to these celebrities, you know, that otherwise we wouldn't have had in the past, is that you get to know the person. And then you just wish that maybe you didn't get to know them. And maybe it was a better time when you just listened to their music and then the rest of their life was a fucking mystery. Okay. But when Chrisette Michele went on to R&B Divas, that was a show, right? It was R&B Divas, right? Yeah. When she went on the show, she was a little different than we thought that she would be. Okay. But we dealt with it because, you know, we were like, she's a singer and, you know, she's kind of eccentric and, you know, she's got her ways and all. And so we dealt with it. However, when YSAP went into office, and on his inauguration day, when they had the inauguration balls and everything, well, you guys remember how much fun we had with the fact that she sang at one of the balls. Remember how upset people were with her for doing that. I can remember talking about it in one of my top of the blog videos. That was when people were pretty much done with Chrisette Michele. And I'm going to tell you what, that shit stuck. Okay? You don't hear shit from Chrisette Michele. You know, she's still out there. She's definitely still on social media. She's still making music and all of that. But that left the most sour taste in people's mouth. All right. And even after the fact that, you know, she tried to explain the reasons why she did it, people still wasn't feeling it for her. Okay. And so, yeah, she was canceled. Okay. We didn't see or hear from her too much anymore. Then fast forward a couple of years ago, apparently she was having problems with a pregnancy and she had a miscarriage. She went onto her social media and she posted the miscarriage. She posted it, okay? And I was fucking alarmed. I was like, who posts this? And it was actually a picture of it was blood and it was, fetus matter, I guess, and cords and shit on the floor of a bathroom. It was the most disturbing picture that anybody would. I was like, why would you post a picture of this? Okay. Now, on the post, she talked about her having a miscarriage. People assumed that was her picture of her miscarriage. Well, she said, no, that was not her miscarriage after she had posted that for some time and everybody had seen it and assumed that it was hers. She said that she was just posting a picture letting you know what happened. However, that right there was confirmation for many people that the fact that they had canceled her some years ago, okay, when they was right in doing what the fuck they did, because who the fuck gets on damn social media and posts a picture of a fucking miscarriage, of whether or not it's yours or not? Do you think people really want to see shit like that? Okay, that shit was awful. I couldn't believe that she had posted that picture, so I was just like, girl, this ain't gonna help you get back off of the cancellation. Craziness, right? Then, child, we heard that the girl had been got married. Apparently, she was in a lawsuit with this man who was like a manager or a producer or maybe both things in her life. She was in a lawsuit. She was suing this guy, and then up and out the blue, they decided to get married in the middle of the lawsuit. And she came and explained to everybody, how she felt about him and the love and all of that. And we were just like, oh, okay. But, you know, that right there, I was like, child, this child is a little off. It's just a little off. And now we find out that she is in the middle of a divorce, and the divorce has been very difficult. And it's been going on for 3 years, and she doesn't see any end in sight. And she was complaining about it on social media. Okay. And, yeah, so... child, Chrisette Michele ain't been able to gain her footing back on social media ever since all of that shit happened, and really in her career. Okay, she still has her diehard fans and all, but man, many people don't fuck with Chrisette Michele any longer. Okay, and the last person that I want to talk to you about being canceled and how y'all really made it, y'all really made this shit stick, is DaBaby. Okay, mama named him Jonathan Lindell Kirk. Child, like I said, y'all don't get these cancellations right all the time, but baby, y'all keeping to it on this one here. And I just wanted to talk to you guys about his missteps, okay, that has landed him in the position that he is in today. Because I was looking it up, and there's actually a timeline of shit that has happened that took him from being at the top. I mean, remember how much I told you guys I used to like DaBaby's music and everything? I mean, and you know, from that point where he was to where I'm talking about, child, the most swiftest descent ever, right? Okay, so let's go through the timeline. There was a Rolling Out Loud concert when he said on stage, "You didn't have to show up today with HIV, AIDS, or any of them deadly sexually transmitted diseases that make you die in 2 to 3 weeks. Then put your cell phone lighters up." Okay, the people were not happy about that. Maybe you should think about your audience. And maybe some of your audience might have HIV and AIDS. And even if they don't have HIV and AIDS, that is kind of an offensive thing to say. Okay. So the people were offended by that, and they definitely let him know. He gave some half-ass apology. The LGBTQ community was not having it. And ever since then, you know, it ain't looked good for your boy. He gave another apology, and then agreed to meet with some of the LGBTQ community activists, you know, just so that he can get some knowledge, some information on the community, the things that you say, you know, how they land on other people's ears, all that kind of thing. Okay, he agreed that he would meet with those people, but he he ended up ghosting them. He did not meet with the people. And I guess they was just like, oh, okay, so you gonna ignore us? Okay, this is a powerful community in the entertainment world. So they went on. I mean, I don't know what else you can call it other than blacklisting them. Because, child, let me tell you, all of the shit that got canceled after that. Lollapalooza canceled. Azura Amphitheater canceled. A Day in Vegas canceled. New York Governor's Bar canceled. Austin City Limits canceled. 107.5 Summer Jam canceled. Music Midtown canceled. iHeartRadio Music Festival canceled. Some other cancellations went down in there. He dug his heels in. Okay, started to realize that maybe he was not the favorite. We saw him performing with Kanye West. You guys know how people feel about Kanye West. He's very polarizing. This was before Kanye West got on this newest rant that he's been on. But that wasn't a good look for him. And I think that he thought that he would align himself as sort of like the bad guy. Okay, the boogeyman, as he likes to call himself. And it seems that approach just hasn't worked for him. We also know that he's had a number of issues with his baby mamas. He has 3 baby mamas. The last baby mama's Danny Lee Lay. Okay. We all know about the drama, how he embarrassed her on social media, went off on her. A lot of people didn't like that. Even if you didn't like Danny Lay, they also didn't like the fact that he was treating her the way that he was. All the drama that went on with Danny Lee Lay's brother and him, that was not a good look. He's had other skirmishes, other things that have happened where he's had confrontations with people on the streets, and may have even got into some skirmishes with those same people. And that wasn't a good look for him. Of course, you got to remember how we met DaBaby in the first place. Remember, he had actually killed somebody in self-defense. that had approached him, I think, at a Walmart. And of course, because it was self-defense, he didn't go to jail for it. So that is how we actually met DaBaby. And it just seems like he hasn't been able to regain his positive footing ever since, child. People stopped collaborating with him. He was with, what, Dua Lipa? Is that her name? Dua Lipa? Dua Lipa? They had a song together. She said she wasn't fucking with him no more. Other collaborations decided to not work with him any longer. I mean, the shit was a fucking mess. His life was in shambles. Of course, most recently, we know that he worked with Tory Lanez. Of course, the Meg Thee Stallion fans did not like that, considering, you know, he was supposed to be an ally of Meg Thee Stallion. But here you are working with the enemy. That wasn't a good look. Most recently, he has come out with a song where he is actually talking about him and Meg Thee Stallion having a sexual relationship, even during the time that she was messing around with Tory Lanez and all that shit happened with her getting shot in the foot and all of that. He put that information out. I don't know why he thought that that was something that he needed to do, considering his status of where he is. It's just sort of like, are you trying to sabotage your own career? I understand that, you know, you kind of feel like these motherfuckers is not going to make me do what I don't want to do. Okay, I'm going to say what I want to say and I'm going to do what I got all of that. But at some point, you have got to realize that you are losing fucking money. He's in the middle of a lawsuit. There is a man. Remember, we saw the video. They were filming a video in this man's house in an Airbnb. Apparently, the man didn't know anything about them filming. They were only supposed to have so many people in the house. DaBaby had a whole production team and people that were in the video there. The man came home. We saw the video where there was a confrontation. The man looked like he was being belligerent. But they're also saying that DaBaby hit the man, which is never smart. You are the entertainer. You have security there. Let the security be the ones that get in trouble and do that. That's what you pay them for. DaBaby says that he didn't do anything. I guess we'll see in the lawsuit how that goes, but he's got that legal problem going on. I mean, it's just a lot going on, and not in a good way for DaBaby. Okay. And, I don't know who's on his team, that is advising him. But at some point, you just gonna have to realize that, hey, maybe I measured this shit out wrong. Okay. Maybe I thought me being the bad guy was going to work for me, and the shit is not going to work, because even though other people take the same route and it seems to work for them, it definitely is not working for DaBaby. It continues to get worse and worse. Okay. And it's only gonna get worse, sir. Child, now he got a BOGO sale for his damn tickets. Buy one, get one for a damn DaBaby concert. $22 to I think $50 or $60 would get you a ticket for DaBaby, his smaller venues, not big venues like he had been. I mean, it's just really been something. He's been blacklisted, and he's been canceled, and they are not letting up. And because he is a young black man who believes in what he's doing, I guess, he ain't trying to apologize or come up off of it either. So we just kind of see. It's almost like somebody, had a big ass bag of water and somebody just stabbed that bitch in the bottom and the shit is just running out the bag. Like, God, it gets worse and worse. So, he's still out there, and, he tends to laugh at himself. Maybe he's not taking himself so seriously, or maybe he's trying to make you guys think that he's not taking himself so seriously. I saw a video of him laying on the ground saying that he was at the top and he fell off. He's all twisted and contorted on the floor or whatever, and he's laughing about it. But I was just like, I don't see where it's funny to be losing millions and millions and millions of dollars and millions of fans. And I mean, I don't know if he's lost millions of fans, but definitely losing money. Okay. And that is not what we want to do in this day and age. Now, he has recently put out a song where he apologized to his baby mamas. Okay. So maybe that's a step in the right direction. We'll see what else comes from DaBaby. But yeah, child, it's been something. It's definitely been something, honey. They are not trying to let up. They are not trying to let DaBaby be uncanceled. Do you guys still listen to DaBaby music? Are y'all fine with it because he's an asshole, or do you think that this is overboard? I mean, this man's money is probably still good, but eventually it's gonna get funny if we can't, if he can't stop this bleeding, child, because it's a lot. It's a lot. Y'all tell me what you think about that. Did they really just truly permanently cancel DaBaby? All right, you guys, next story up, since we kind of mentioned a little bit about Kanye, and this story is not really about Kanye. It's more about Adidas. We find out that Adidas will be selling the Kanye West designs without the Kanye West label, and they're going to move on with their life. Okay, because Adidas said, listen, we own all of the designs, past and present and future, and we own all of the colorways. So that is our intellectual property, and we can do with it what we want, and we are going to continue to put the Kanye West stuff out, and we just gonna take his name off of it. Now, the Yeezy brand items did make $1.7 billion for Adidas back in 2021. Okay, now, even though that is a whole bunch of money, that is 8% of their total revenue. Okay, so when we're looking at this in the very biggest grand scale of things, even though they did lose a lot of money, they still are going to be just fine, you guys. Apparently the company made $6.4 billion in the third quarter of 2022. Okay, now, even though Kanye West and many of us who are not, familiar with the numbers that come out of Adidas, so we thought that him pulling out and taking his, possibly $1.7 billion in revenue with him, when you look at 6.4 billion in a quarter, that's only 3 months, y'all. Okay, Adidas is gonna be just fine without Kanye West. Okay, Kanye West, even though y'all keep telling me he had a plan, child, that was a whole lot of money that he lost separating from Adidas. But if he has a plan, then we'll see if that works for him. Okay, but yeah, Adidas is actually going to be fine, and they're going to still sell the designs. Now, for the most part, I don't know if people will be eager to buy that Kanye West stuff. I think that they're going to put it out, and they're going to see if people buy it, and then if people still don't seem to be interested in that stuff, they'll probably just phase those designs out or tweak it and make it different and then sell those things. But I'm not really trying to walk around in the Yeezys that ain't Yeezys from Adidas, It's just sort of like you kind of got the off-brand, even though it's still Adidas. It's sort of, so I don't know if people are going to be because let's face it, people buy designer luxury wear because of the name most of the time. All right. If the name is not on there, then I don't know if you're going to buy it. And especially with all this shit, how it has surrounded what's happened with Kanye West, I don't even know if people are going to buy it. So I guess Adidas is just going to see. Okay. But they was like, damn it, we got all these designs and shit that we done sat up here with that crazy nigga in his meetings and all, and we figured it all out. So we might as well get some money out of it. We going to put this shit out and see if y'all going to bite. Okay. Are you guys going to bite? Are you interested in purchasing the Adidas brand things without the Kanye West name on it? Now, I don't own any of Kanye West items at all, because I refuse to pay that kind of money for tennis shoes. Okay, I'm sure he has other stuff, but I don't know it. But so those of you guys who do have his things, his shoes or whatever, you guys let me know. Will you still be looking to purchase those items from Adidas, even though it won't have the name on it? I mean, it'll still have Adidas on there, so, and it'll still be made, I'm sure, with the same quality as it was with, the Kanye West label on it. So, y'all let me know what it is. But honey, Adidas was like, baby, we ain't fixing to let this shit go to waste. We probably sat up here and suffered through meetings for nothing just to throw this shit away. Oh no, we putting this shit out. Y'all buying? All right, you guys, next story up. This story is actually pretty sad. Hazel-E. So Hazel-E has had a rough, I feel like she's had a rough life since since she was on Love and Hip Hop Hollywood. She came on the show, she was just okay. She wasn't my favorite, but I didn't dislike her and all. But, Hazel-E was very hard to like, really, because she just struck me as a person. I realize now that she has a lot of insecurities, okay? And to go on a reality show and then to be put face to face with a Masika who is lethal with that mouth, it did not help Hazel-E in her insecurities. And she turned into a person who, again, in retrospect, I realize now that she was just trying to protect herself and establish herself as somebody that can stand up to Masika. But at the time, it just was a bad look. It just looked like somebody who was trying too hard. She was trying to rap. It was just sort of like, nobody is believing this rap career thing that you're trying to do. It was just, nothing about her seemed authentic or genuine. Okay. But I also felt sorry for her because I realized that because people always teased her about her nose and her body and things like that, that she was insecure. And so she was trying to make these changes and it was just getting worse and worse for her. And you guys remember she was having these botched surgeries. And remember she was in Dubai and she got into the accident and it fucked up her face, so her nose got messed up. She ended up getting a nose job. It was just a lot of things that was happening with Hazel-E. So she has never really been my most favorite. But now, you guys, after all this stuff has happened, I realize that, Hazel-E has had a rough life, like a rough time. Okay. But it seemed like as she got older, maybe she found some level of happiness. She ended up getting married. She ended up having a little girl. And, we saw her wedding pictures and, we would see videos of her and her husband and all, and she was on marriage boot camp and also I thought that maybe she was happy now, but turns out that's all been a facade too, you guys, because now she is trying to get a divorce from her husband, Devon Wallers. They've been married since October of 2019, and she actually said in a video that she released recently that they have been having problems since the beginning. Okay, that he talked to her crazy, mental abuse, physical abuse, calls her, dumb bitch instead of her name. She's posted videos and audios of what he's called her. She's posted text messages of him supposedly cheating, his conversations with his mistress. She's posted text messages of him trying to find her, when she has purposely made herself not available to him, the way that he talks to her. He sounds crazy. She sounds afraid, but she also sounds like somebody who is fed up and has decided that she needs to get away from him. Okay. Usually in these situations, when people come to the public, I'm usually just sort of like, oh God, girl, just the attention you obviously needed. Okay. That's usually how I felt. But in this case, I didn't feel that way. I actually felt very sorry for her because the way she was talking in the video, it just seemed very sincere, and it seemed like she truly was going through some things and that she was trying to protect herself by letting the public know, like, hey, if anything happens to me, this is my way of protecting me and my daughter. Like, this man is crazy. Okay. And I have been protecting him all this time, and I haven't been telling you guys what's going on because I've been trying to work my marriage out. Okay. This would be yet another failure from a Hazel-E. So she was trying to make it work, but no. Okay. Apparently when she was in the hospital for one of her number of botched surgeries that she's had, he had to be home with their little baby girl. She released a video of him changing her diaper. And even though in the video we don't see him doing anything physically to her, he is kind of like manhandling her a little bit, kind of throwing her on the bed. He's changing her diaper, but he's frustrated with her for whatever reason. But she said that when she was in the hospital and when the little girl when somebody brought the little girl to visit the mother, visit her, that she had a black eye. This baby is a year old or something, a year or two old. Okay, and the baby had a black eye, bruised arm. You know, listen, I know there's many reasons why women stay in relationships, but when the person moves from beating on you to beating on your children, then, I would hope that people would get some sort of strength to remove themselves from that kind of environment, because this is a baby. Like, this is your child that you have to protect. Okay. And if you are away from him and the baby, and he is around the baby, he could kill that baby. And can you imagine the guilt that you would feel? Like, so at some point you have to take a stand and protect yourself and your child. And I think that that's what Hazel-E is doing now. By putting all of this out, she did get a restraining order, so that he has to stay away from her and her child. And I think that that's a great thing that she did finally say, like, he is doing these things and I can't stay here any longer. Okay. Cause when it gets to the baby, that's where we can't be here no more. This is my baby now. Okay. So I think that that's probably something that did give her some strength, knowing that now she's got to be in mommy mode and really take care of her child. So, but yeah, the story was sad, and I actually was very sad for Hazel-E. I hope that she's able to continue to protect them and that she's able to get this divorce. I know she would like for it to be amicable, but we also know that sometimes those things don't happen. You have male ego and you have other things that come into play that just makes it generally, difficult. So I'm hoping that it works out for her, but I think that it's great that she was able to separate herself from him and that she's protecting herself. So keep your head up, Hazel-E, and hopefully this all goes smoothly and everybody goes on with their life. Next story up, you guys, is an update about Spice. Remember I told you guys last week that Spice was over in the DR, and first they were saying that she had been in a coma, but her representative had come out and said no, she wasn't in a coma, that she was over in the DR, but she is fine. She never was in a coma. I wasn't really sure what any of that meant. I believed them when they said that she wasn't in a coma. However, I still felt like where there's smoke, there's fire, and these stories don't just come out the blue. And if she's over in the DR and she's not able to speak for herself, then maybe there is still something wrong. Okay, well, apparently Spice was able to finally speak for herself. She did come out and she said that she was over in the DR, and she was getting a damaged hernia fixed. I'm assuming that whatever work that she had done previously was done over in the DR, so she went back to the DR to go to the same doctor who had handled her first surgery, or who had anything to do with that first hernia, or maybe her tummy tuck or lipo, whatever they did, it affected the hernia. So she went over there to get it corrected. Okay. And that is the reason why she wasn't able to speak for herself. I'm not sure if there were complications or not. She didn't mention that, but she said that she is on the mend. She is getting better. Obviously, she is going to have to tone down considerably her explosive stage performance, because, honey, we done seen that damn Spice do a whole fucking lot. I'm telling you, I had a whole newfound respect for Spice once I really, really saw what she does out there. A powerhouse performer. That's why it just amazes me that she's on Love and Hip Hop. Okay, the bullshit that goes on that show, and you are a real true performer, girl, and you on that show. But I guess she was just like, baby, I'm gonna get this check like everybody else. Okay. But yeah, so she said that, yeah, she won't be jumping off of speakers onto some, man laying on the floor waiting to get his balls crushed as they come flying down onto him into a split or some shit. I mean, like, what make these men just want to sit there, all legs cocked open, and, for these women to come crashing down on them and hump on them and everything. The shit looks so damn violent, but they like to do it, child. They like to do it. So, yeah, she said she won't be doing that anymore. All right, now she will leave that to her dancers, at least until she gets healed or whatever. But besides that, you guys, Spice says that she is fine, that she is doing well, that, you know, obviously she's going to have to cancel some of her performances that are coming up, but you know, she will get back out there. You know, she has in mind all of the things that she has to do. She will get back to you guys who have bought tickets and all of that. Okay, she is aware that her fans are waiting on her. Okay, but for all intents and purposes, you guys, Spice is fine. Okay, got the little hernia situation corrected and all is good. And lastly, congratulations are in order, I guess, to a new couple alert, you guys. That's right. They say that Cher of Sonny and Cher of Do You Believe in Life After Love? I feel it gone inside myself. Still even say me strong enough. Oh, do you believe in love after love? Half-breed, you're the only one. Y'all don't want me to start singing no damn Cher songs up in this motherfucker, do you? Anyway, that Cher, that very same Cher, is supposedly dating Amber Rose's ex, AE. Okay, mama named him Alexander Edwards. They were caught out and about in LA by the paparazzi holding hands as they walked to a vehicle. And yeah, it looks like they are, well, at least people assumed like maybe something was going on there, even though she is 40 years his senior. Okay, now that not saying that, you know, women can't have younger boyfriends and all, but when I look at the picture of them, y'all, and I try to picture it, that's right, y'all. And listen, women can get a men worms too. We don't usually have that scenario, but women can give him worms too, and I'm just gonna need him to get checked out. Let me not say that. Let me not say that, because we love Cher, and Cher looks great. Cher looks great, okay? But it's still a 40-year difference, all right? And we cannot forget that AE has been known to be a cheater. Remember him and Amber Rose, they have a son together, But him and Amber Rose broke up, and Amber Rose, remember, she blasted him and said that he was cheating, and you know, she was there with him and all of that, and he was out there with all kind of women's and whatnots. So now people are concerned, like, Cher, do you know what you got yourself into? Now you got this young nigga, he's a player, he love his women's and everything, and why is it exactly that he's decided to settle down with a 74-year-old woman? Okay, I mean, it could happen. It could happen, you guys. It's not impossible. But usually these kind of things raise our eyebrows, because what is we doing? Child, you see, you know, and honey, that Cher, she got on Twitter and she was just like, listen, love knows no math, okay? Instead, it sees two, and then she put heart emoji. She tweeted that. All right. And when people were trying to say, like, you need to be careful because he doesn't have the best track record, she was just like, listen, she wasn't born yesterday. She said she's been around, you know, she have been around the old rodeo once or twice before. She know how men do. She says, anytime you make a choice, you take a chance. I've always taken chances. It's who I am. I'm not defending us. Haters are gonna hate. Doesn't matter that we're happy and not bothering anyone. Okay? I was like, girl, I know you happy. Child, you got this young man over there, you know, working the bits out. Child, can you imagine what's going on over there? Child, because, you know, listen, let me not say it. I just, you know, I would like to be a fly on the wall. I want to know what is going on exactly in the Cher household, especially when we come to intimate situations. Child, that Cher said, honey, I done got this young nigga, honey. Y'all ain't gonna tell me that I can't be with this man if I don't want to be with him. If I want to be with him, I'm gonna be with him. Okay, I'm not mad. I'm not mad. I am not a younger man kind of thing. Like, I've always thought that even if me and Mr. wasn't together, honey, I couldn't imagine myself being with somebody younger. But I have friends who love their younger men. Okay, ain't saying that it ain't right. It just ain't for me. Okay, but apparently it's for Cher. 40-year difference, 74, 34. We'll see how long it lasts. But girl, have your fun. That's all I'm saying, is have your fun. All right, you guys, let me get off of here. I got to get to work. Okay, we do this every single week, so make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Until next time, rock stars. Bye.